Hey, I'm Matt Pouliot. I live and work in Augusta, Maine. I've lived here my entire life. I actually went to Augusta Public Schools, graduated from Coney High School in 2005, and went on to the University of Maine at Augusta, where I studied business administration. My senior year in college, I actually took a class in real estate to get my real estate license. And that's what really began my journey in the career of real estate, which is what I do. So I serve in the Maine State legislature. I'm a state senator, but I also own my own company called Pouliot Real Estate. It's based right on Water Street in downtown Augusta. And I own another company called Alliance Properties, which manages and develops commercial real estate right now in the central Maine area. So the Chamber of Commerce wanted me to put together a little video telling you about what I do in the day-to-day of my career and what that might look like for you if you wanted to get into this type of business. So I think the first thing to really share with you is that at the end of the day, I'm really an entrepreneur. I own my own companies and run them. I'm the boss. So a lot of times when you're thinking about where you're going to go work in life, sometimes you have kind of two options. You can either be your own boss, or you can work for somebody else and have a career. When I get up every day and look in the mirror brushing my teeth, I'm looking at my boss. So the decisions that are made in my company largely are made by me. And it's a little bit different track than a standard career, maybe working in a 9-to-5 job where you have a set schedule and certain responsibilities. My day is generally very fluid. I make my own schedule. A lot of that revolves around the needs of my clients in the real estate business and also the different projects that I'm working on at any time. The nice thing about being my own boss is that it provides me also with time flexibility to serve in the Maine State legislature. When I was 25 years old, I got elected to the Maine State legislature for the first time, representing the people of West and North Augusta in the legislature, in the House of Representatives. And then in 2018, when Senator Roger Cates termed out, I ran for and was elected to the Maine State Senate. So some of you might have seen my signs around town for both real estate or for the state Senate. And being my own boss has given me the flexibility to be able to also serve the people in the Maine State legislature. So I'll talk about that a little as well. First, I want to start with giving you an overview of the business of being a real estate agent. So you really don't need any type of formal education beyond high school to be a realtor. The only requirement in the state of Maine is to have a high school diploma and then complete an introductory course in real estate, which takes about 60 hours of class time. And in that class, you take a few interim quizzes, and at the end, there's a final exam. If you pass that final exam, you can then go to the state testing facility and take a state exam to get your real estate license. So there's 3 different levels of licensing in real estate. The first is called sales agent. That's where you can be just getting into the business, and you can do that for a 2-year period of time. After you've been a sales agent for 2 years, you have to become what's called an associate broker. So that's kind of a point in time where people either decide to stay in the business or to get out. And if you decide that you want to stay in the business, you can become an associate broker. That requires taking another 55 to 60 hours of class time and another final exam, but not a statewide exam. So really, there's only one statewide exam you need to take to become a real estate agent. Beyond that, there's just some classes that you have to do in addition to the first class that you do in order to keep your license. The third and final level of licensure is called designated broker. So in order to be a designated broker, you have to take another class, and that's about another 55 to 60 hours of time. And then you have to do another statewide exam. I'm a designated broker, which is what gives me the ability to own my own real estate company, which is called Pouliot Real Estate. And in doing so, I'm able to make the decisions about how we're running our business. If you're not a designated broker, you have to work for another real estate company, like you could potentially come and work for Pouliot Real Estate or another real estate company in the area. And then once you've been in the business for 3 years and you get a designated broker license, you could potentially open your own firm. The majority of people don't open their own real estate companies. They just hang their license with a real estate firm like mine, and then they help people buy and sell homes. So we talked a little bit about what it takes to get a license as a realtor and what the education requirements are. Next, I want to talk to you about what we do day to day. So there's two primary functions. We help buyers and sellers. Buyers of homes or apartment buildings or even raw land, farms, office complexes. It kind of runs the gamut. In central Maine, we really have to help people with both residential and commercial real estate. In other parts of the country, some realtors only work on specific type of properties, like beachfront homes or mountainside condos, or maybe just selling office complexes to commercial investors or users. There's a lot of different types of real estate. But at the end of the day, we generally work with both buyers and sellers of both residential, which is like where people sleep and live, and commercial real estate, which is generally where people do business. For buyers, it really involves going around to help people see different properties that they might be interested in. It's a lot of fun because you get to see different parts of the state. You get to go into a lot of different homes to see different layouts and the way things that are set up. And no two homes are really exactly the same. So it's generally a day-to-day different adventure. Never is there 2 days that are the same in real estate. There's always something different going on that's fun and challenging. On the selling side, we help sellers sell their most people, it's their most valuable asset that they own. So helping people through the process of getting the most that they can for their property and selling it as quickly as possible is our job. So we do a lot of marketing and advertising for those clients. So there's a lot of opportunity to also do marketing in this business. And also, if you like to help people solve problems, that's generally what we're doing on a daily basis to help people navigate the process of both buying and selling a home. So I told you a little bit about what it takes to get into the real estate business if you want to, what some of the day-to-day looks like, and now I want to talk to you about the team that really is around us and supporting the work that we do. So I really wouldn't be able to do this job without a good supportive team. I have my wife who does our design work and marketing work for the business. She actually owns her own company called Core Marketing and Design. So she's really great at creating websites and editing photos and advertising materials that we get out on behalf of our seller clients. And she also does all of our social media work as well too. So it's really important to be on a lot of different platforms, and she helps to make sure that that side of our business is handled really well. We have a transaction coordinator. Her name is Danielle. She really does a lot of the detail work. So when we have a contract for a client, let's say a buyer wants to buy a home, we talked about that a little bit ago, they have to write up a contract to be presented to the seller to be potentially accepted. And Danielle will help to make sure that all the pieces of that are together and get the paperwork submitted to our clients to sign. She also lines up all the different inspections that have to happen for properties, and is generally just making sure that the train stays on the tracks in terms of all the details of our business. And then I have another guy that works with me. His name's Max Ross. Max started out his career in the hospitality industry. He actually owned a bed and breakfast and decided that he really didn't want to do that anymore, that he wanted to get into selling real estate. So he went and took the class like we talked about a little bit earlier and got his license a few years ago, and now works on our team, primarily helping buyers to buy properties around the area. I own my own business and I'm my own boss. I make my own schedule, and one of the things that allows me to do is to get involved in some other projects. So I have a company, like I mentioned to you before, called Alliance Properties. It's an LLC that's really focused on real estate development and real estate management. So what does that mean? Essentially, in a nutshell, we own residential apartment buildings that we rent out. Maybe some of you live in an apartment. We might be the landlord for that building, who knows? But we own buildings that have apartments in them. And we also develop properties. Right now, I'm redeveloping a property right in downtown Augusta on Water Street. It's actually a little over $2 million project. We're putting in 9 apartments upstairs and then some retail and office space on the first level. And down below, we're eventually going to have an event space. So because I have the flexibility from working for myself, it allows me the opportunity to also be working on these other things that I'm interested in. And one of the things that I really love to do is buy real estate and also redevelop real estate, which helps to improve the community. To do that, you really don't need any kind of formal education beyond high school. There's people that have been really successful in the real estate development business that never went to college, though I do think that my own experience in having gone to college after high school, I went to the University of Maine at Augusta and got a degree in business. That really has helped me tremendously, I think, on the development side of things. The other thing that I get to do that's a lot of fun, and I mentioned this a little bit ago, is to serve in the Maine State legislature. That too does not require any kind of formal education beyond high school. You can serve in the Maine State legislature with just a high school diploma, and you have to be at least 18 years old, I think, for the House and 25 for the Senate. Actually, no, the House is 21 years old and the Senate is 25. So it really is an interesting opportunity if you've ever been interested in politics to serve. I've had just a really incredible time serving the people of Maine in the legislature. I love doing it. But if I wasn't working for myself, I just wouldn't have the time availability to do it. And I could talk for a long time about what that job entails, but essentially it's making the laws for the state of Maine. And we're involved in that from every facet of public education to funding for roads and bridges, to making sure that our environment is clean, and we're investing in things like renewable energy, solar projects. It really runs the whole gamut. Really right now we're focused on ways that we can address the public health issues that are going on around the coronavirus pandemic. And we're hopeful that when we go back into the legislature next session in January, we'll be able to address a lot of the issues that are going on from this pandemic that we're all having to deal with right now. So in closing, I just want to thank you for learning a little bit more about my business. And if you think that this might be something that you're interested in, I'd love to talk with you more about it. It's a fun, exciting career being involved in real estate. There's a lot of different things that you can do. And then also, if you're interested in things on the political side, I'd love to talk with you more about that. There's a lot of opportunities to get involved at the State House with volunteering or getting involved in people's campaigns or helping out with politics in general. So it's fun, exciting stuff, and I really look forward to talking with you more about this. Keep up the great work, and have a great day.